The Biden Department of Justice issuing new warnings saying that there could be some problems in the upcoming days as we lead into the elections. A story from Politico is a little light on the details, but they tell us the Biden administration is set to warn about threats to the nation's electoral infrastructure. A bulletin is coming out this week, and they tell us that top Biden officials are tracking multiple threats to the nation's election security infrastructure ahead of the midterms. They're going to issue warnings, including an internal intelligence bulletin this week. It's going to detail cyber threats posed by China, and we're going to read through a new criminal complaint against several CCP alleged spies. Say it's also coming from Russia and other non-state actors, and there are also potential physical threats happening around the country. They're talking about increased reports of intimidation at ballot boxes, and we've seen, even here in Arizona, armed men, oh my gosh, with weapons and body armors sitting outside public locations. Everybody's freaking out about it across America because they've never seen a weapon before. The people requested anonymity to talk about this, but elsewhere, the Department of Justice addressed several malign influence schemes and alleged criminal activity by non-state actors. FBI was out talking about this as well. They say that malign foreign influence, whether it's in the form of the Chinese government or the Russian government, it's not just an election season issue. It's an everyday problem. Internal administration concerns are about election threats. They're working with local law enforcement. They're calling on people to discuss the potential for violence, and they want to stop the spread of false narratives. So we'll see what YouTube does and what all of these other tech platforms do. FBI, DHS, DOJ have not responded for comments. Already there are incidents of armed individuals outside of ballot boxes in Arizona, prompting the sheriff's office to be called into the area. Oh, great. Cyber threats are now heating up, and election officials say that they are concerned. So let's take a look at what is going on with China. There was a new, actually, before we've got this Merrick Garland clip. Asked about election threats, Merrick Garland responded when asked about MarALago, not election. Asked about MarALago, Merrick Garland responded saying that he can't comment on an ongoing investigation. All of this stuff is currently pending, and you know what DOJ policy is.
Given the nature of the MarALago investigation, I was wondering, can you guarantee to the American public when the investigation is complete that there will be transparency so the country writ large will know whether there were criminal offenses that took place or not?
Look, this is an ongoing investigation, so I'm really not able to comment. We speak through our filings and through the cases we bring. That's the only way we speak.
That's not true at all. That's not true at all. Merrick Garland has one of the leakiest DOJs that we've seen in recent memory. The Washington Post essentially has direct access, I think it's probably via text messages, to a number of lawyers in the DOJ, because every other day it feels like we wake up to a new leak about the Trump MarALago saga. But they're going to be telling us about all of the Chinese and foreign actors and all of that influence, but they can't talk about what's happening with the political inquisition of American candidates in this country. They're just, we'll speak through our filings, even though they are leaky as can be. So we are going to talk about these two guys. We've got He Guoqin, who is allegedly a Chinese CCP spy. And we also have this guy, Wang Zhang, who apparently is also a CCP spy. And so let's take a look at these new indictments that came out against these several individuals. This one is sort of less interesting. It's sort of a lot of technical stuff. But this is United States of America versus these Chinese PRC alleged agents. It's a criminal case emerging out of the Eastern District of New York. It's an indictment from the Brooklyn office. And you can see it encompasses several PRC individuals. All of them listed in this indictment. Now, this is a big document. I sort of want to fly through this one. Yeah, we're going to spend our time on the other one. This one's not as interesting as the other one. So I want to actually go through. This is the criminal complaint and the arrest warrant for these two guys. He and Wang. And if you notice here, this is the cover sheet. I couldn't see it because it's sideways. I had to tilt my head. But this is the cover sheet. We don't need to look at that. This is the more interesting document that is against these two guys, Dong He and Zhen Wang. A criminal complaint filed under seal has been unsealed. United States of America versus two alleged Chinese spies, He and Wang, both being charged in the state of New York. The FBI special agent who is drafting this affidavit is named Thomas Ryder. He's sworn in and he's been with the FBI for some time. He says that these two individuals impeded and obstructed official proceedings in the United States government, were also engaged in money laundering by transferring Bitcoin all across America. So the special agent writes, he says, I've been a special agent with the FBI since August 2014. I've investigated all sorts of stuff and I'm amazing at my job. He says one guy is a defendant here and his name is Dong. Dong or Jackie is his alias. He's a citizen of China. And based on the information, says this special agent, he says that Dong is an intelligence officer of the People's Republic of China. And he's conducting foreign intelligence operations targeting the United States on behalf of the PRC. The defendant, Wang, is a citizen of PRC. He's also known to be Dong's coworker. I also assess that he's an intelligence officer, also conducting foreign intelligence operations against the United States. Here are the photographs of Dong and Wang, both here, allegedly CCP agents. So if you've seen them, now you know. So we have some background on this. Company one is a global telecommunications company. It's headquartered in the PRC, and so we don't know what company that is, but it's got business in the United States. They're defendants in a pending prosecution, and these people were involved in this litigation. In their capacity as intelligence officers working for the Chinese government, Dong and Wang attempted to direct a person that they believed they had recruited as an asset to obtain confidential information about witnesses, trial evidence, and potential new charges to be brought against the company. Okay, so there's a telecommunications company based out of China. Government is prosecuting them. These two Chinese spies, they come in, they want secret information about the prosecution of this company. Wang and Dong, they cultivated their relationship and they pursued different directives, specifically asking about the criminal case against the company. Wang provided this undercover person with a payment of $14,000 plus jewelry for sensitive government information. They got $2,000 from Western Union, $3,000 cash, $9,000 cash and jewelry. Ongoing criminal investigation was moving forward, and this informant was providing them information. They said that if he could surreptitiously photograph a document that was classified as secret, that they would pay him $41,000 for a single page. Woo, that's good money. Can you just take a snapshot of that with your phone for 41 grand in Bitcoin? But no, he said no. He had refused it. He says it's too dangerous. I can't get in there and do that. That knowledge was being passed around. He said that they didn't give me any feedback and he couldn't get in there. Now they're seeking information about the prosecution of that company. Asking, can you call me? And so the spies are sort of back and forth about this stuff. Can you talk with your ex-college colleague who works for the Department of Justice? We just want to talk to them. There's a new lawsuit against us. Do you think that you could maybe get him on the phone going after U.S. attorneys maybe? Wow. The defendants seek to obtain information to obstruct the prosecution. A lot of this stuff was great interest to the spies. And so all of this is just conversations back and forth. Let's see what some of the conduct is. So they got witness lists. I was able to see witness lists they got. A list of employees. They tried to get this guy to memorize a whole list. And the guy says, I'm sorry to say this, but it's a little hard for me to remember the names in Chinese. Okay, I can't remember all that stuff. They talked about cooperative witnesses. So they want to go after the witnesses to influence some of the witnesses. FBI agent says that based on my training and experience, this person didn't have the authority or the ability to provide those tasks. As they're communicating, they start deleting their emails. So the Chinese spies are deleting their emails, all of their messages, saying they're going to give this guy tons of Bitcoin, approximately $41,000 for delivering them goods. Says it's still too dangerous. They keep pumping him for information, but he can't do it. Finally, this stuff matures. Let's scroll down to the bottom of this. A lot here. He says, October 18th, Bitcoin was exchanged. The spy sends it over. He says, did you get your wallet? Yes, we did. Got the okay sign. So the transaction was completed. Emoji hand confirming receipt. All messages were deleted, right? So that's the transaction that takes place. Signed off on by Thomas M. Ryder, FBI agent. Here's the arrest warrant. Dong and Wang, go get them. And they must have been arrested. And so all of this got unsealed. But very interesting stuff from the CCP. And they are apparently in custody. And we'll see if anything else comes of it. But they were trying to get witness lists and presumably influence those witnesses, which of course is troubling. Now in China, we saw this interesting clip over the weekend. China's President Xi Jinping seemingly threw out his only opposition, Hu Jintao. Seated right here is the gentleman who is being escorted out of the Chinese Congress. And as we watch this clip, take a look at the papers that are seated down there in front of him. Hu Jintao was allegedly the only real challenge to Xi Jinping's continuing reign, his rule in China, third term. And a very interesting thing happened here where they escorted him out. It looks like Hu Jintao was trying to take a look at this paper that was covered up. Maybe he knew how the vote was going to go, and he decided he couldn't tolerate it, which is why he needed to get up and leave. This is what it looked like. Now watch the hand. And he reaches for the paper. What is that? And she says no. All right, so China is consolidating power. President Xi apparently throwing out anybody who might challenge him. And the United States is apparently still trying to figure out what all that means and what the consequences are for China. But certainly an interesting development. Of course, if there are new developments, if the DOJ does come out and tell us about these new threats, we'll of course cover them, and we'll hope that you'll join us on that. Thank you for liking this video wherever it is you're watching it. We look forward to seeing you on the next one.